live. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Respect the Craft podcast. My name is Raymond Sanchez, and I'm joined by he is the Destroyer God. He is the technical extraterrestrial. I'm gonna call him Theo for this out of respect. He is Ghost Shadow. How's it going?
Yo, Ghost Shadow. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Feeling good. We here, and we could have some fun. You could have some fun questions for me, and ready for this little podcast.
All right,
Let
let's
people know
do
who
it.
I am.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it. I feel like by now most people are more gonna know you than they definitely know me. So this is more just to put you out there
Nah,
even
I
more
mean
and
I've
talk.
been away for a minute, so a lot
Yeah,
of people don't know me. They Ghost Shadow, fuck you. I get that energy a lot, and it's like okay, and I get it
yeah,
because I was away for a long time.
yeah,
Kind of got pulled back into it.
yeah. Which that was one of the first things I did want to talk about because, like I talked about this past week with Deshaun Pratt, I was definitely going to talk with Mac about this tomorrow. I grew up watching you guys. Like I grew up watching that
That's
era of
cool.
JAPW. Like I would see matches with you and Deranged, all that. Like so, I grew up knowing about you guys. Like when I heard like because of
Respect.
Ash, I was hearing the rumblings of, oh yeah, Ghost Shadow's making a comeback. I'm like, oh shit, this is about to change
Respect.
the game here.
That was a lot
Like
of fun matches. A lot of
yeah,
fun matches in that company. They basically gave us our first shot through Homicide.
yeah,
Always through Homicide. Shout out to my bro Homicide, the General.
yeah,
Always got to shout that brother out. He's the reason why I'm
definitely.
back too. But yeah, Homicide hooked us up through a Jersey All Pro, and we was just killing shows. They weren't really used to that kind of move set that we
Yeah,
had. We were very innovative, but that was the era of like this northeastern
yeah,
wrestlers that were very innovative coming out of New York and New Jersey. You drive by New Jersey, all you see is trampolines in the fucking back. That's why everybody's just twirling around and just letting it rip. They're just having fun out there in the ring.
yeah. No, and definitely like when you look back at that, and it's like again, why so much now it's just inspired this whole generation. Like everyone's trying to attempt because I'll say attempt because they're not doing it as well as you guys used to do it, but they're definitely attempting to start pulling off some stuff that you guys would do back in the day.
Well, they're pulling off some things.
Yeah,
I'm not a hater, and I'm not a grumpy OG.
yeah,
I've worked a lot of these kids who are everywhere, and they're a little
yeah,
clunky, but they got really cool ideas and nothing but time on their hands. In another year or two, they're just gonna be monsters. They're
yeah,
a little clunky, right? That shit gets annoying. Um, you can see that the training is not there like it used to be.
yeah,
Certain things aren't as smooth as they should be. But they're getting funky out there. They're doing their thing. They're killing themselves a lot of times. But a lot of once they get the psychology, because right now they're hungry. They're just
yeah,
trying to kill, you know. And I could dig that because that's kind of Ghost Shadow style too. I'm not. Ain't nobody want to be on TV, and I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to go out there and do some pro wrestling, have fun, and be like this, this technical heel
yeah,
that'll kind of fuck you up and make you look silly out there if you keep clowning around.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I gotta ask then. So like that, you say you have that hybrid style, like, and that's always been a thing. Like even now, it's with a little bit of like a modern twist, but still having that season to it. What made you inspire that style? Like what made you pick when you were getting into this that, oh, this is
Other
how I want to
hybrid
do it?
styles,
Yeah.
other hybrid styles that weren't as hybrid. Example, like watching Pancrase, which was pro wrestling and a lot of judo for the most part,
Yeah.
right? And they would have kickboxes, but it was wasn't on the regular thing.
Okay.
Kicks though. Um, Watching things like that and being a fan of the lucha libre, we're not
Okay.
gonna leave that style. Once you start doing that, you're not gonna leave it. So you kind of just mix it all in.
Yeah.
You know, and what you actually get is a Toriumon. Those guys were the first guys who really like hybrid style. We we did all that, and then added the American stuff with like high impact moves, like
Yeah.
face busters, face crushers. You know, fucking you up with their impact moves were a little on the soft side.
Got you, got you. Like I'm gonna show a little clip right here. Like this is one of my,
Well, you
especially one of
got
my favorites.
clips.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
a
yeah,
clip
do
right
your
here.
thing, Primo. Yeah.
So I had to
Yeah.
show the mad scientist bomb right there. Like
Yeah.
that again for the time, it's insane. Like even now, it's like it's crazy. Like it's so innovative. Like again,
That,
the smooth transition right there too.
that's a fucking fun move. It's a cool move to watch. It was a move created by accident. We was doing
Yeah.
this lucha libre seesaw move into an
Okay.
arm drag, and I was like, just fucking with my student at the time. Yeah. And he went flying, like, oh shit, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then right away, it was easy to perfect for me. I've seen a lot of lucha heels do it.
Yeah.
Uh, the biggest name I would say that I've seen do it a handful of times would be probably Hechicero.
Okay.
Hechicero. And that dude, for those who don't know, Hechicero's a beast mode uh, lucha libre guy. But he probably won't leave CMLL. They got him, you know, he's one of those guys that stay in CMLL.
Yeah.
But that guy's a fucking master. I would love to just rock him. But he uses it. He uses it pretty good. And a handful of other guys.
Yeah. No, definitely. That was one of my like when I've seen that clip and it goes still to this day. Like you'll see it float around. Like people are still sharing the clip because it's like this was the crazy stuff you could see back then. Like especially that JPW era. Like you would see all that start to share around.
That move was basically the cherry on top of a really bomb ass match that they got to see
Yeah.
of a bunch of two no names. We both came out. They were like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
By the end of the match, 5-star match. So that move is like basically the cherry on top of that match. That crowd got to see something special.
Yeah, that's perfect right there. That's perfect. So let's talk a little bit like again, the name of the podcast, I call it Respect the Craft for a reason. It's my attempt here to honor the traditions of the craft and of professional wrestling. So I got to ask you, especially as a veteran of the game, what does the craft mean for you?
Pro wrestling, wow, there's different levels, man. Especially today. So for me, it's going to be um I'm not a Vince McMahon's masturbation baby. What's a Vince McMahon's masturbation baby? A Vince McMahon masturbation baby is what, that silly clowny shit that, I can't watch that, right? It's a little too dramatic, a lot of talking, a lot of script, a lot of shiny bodies, Uh, I'm not into that shit. I'm into like back in the days, what I grew up to was pro wrestling. Yeah, I was a fan of the WWE, but I was actually exposed to like the NWA first. So that stuck in my head. Guys like Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, uh, some of those that kind of wrestling. Uh,
Yeah.
um, my elders were fans of like the Bruno Sammartinos, Pedro Morales, which I thought was a little goofy. It's like Puerto Ricans don't fight like that. He used to bounce around and shit.
Yeah.
They don't fight like that. That's what I knew. Things were a little off, but enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, classic stuff like that. These days, I'm watching like probably World of Sports most of the time with old school like lucha libre.
Okay.
So when it comes to the craft, for me, is the art of storytelling in the ring.
Okay.
Right? Yes, it's cool to have charisma and drama. You're gonna make your money. That's cool. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't give a shit about it. You know. And one might be like, well, that's ridiculous. You're not gonna make money. I don't give a shit about it. It's not what I like. Yeah.
Got you, got you. No, definitely. I feel like that's what I've seen. That a lot of the answers are going to tend with that. It's like it's wanting to still have that respect for the basics of it too. Like instead of just like adding the full on entertainment side of it, it's adding something else that like it still shows what the natural form of wrestling is.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got MMA to get some like we got MMA, we got kickboxing, we got boxing, but pro wrestling was always like this storytelling thing. Things were always silly.
Yeah,
Things were always flippity flop. People, this new shit. No, it's a bunch of guys who used to do cartwheels and
yeah,
tumble. Luke Dez used to complain about tumbling back then. So it's always been around. Wrestling go in a cycle. Everything's in a cycle, go up and down and shit.
Yeah.
So but my lane, as far as the craft goes, was the old school, the the athleticism in the ring.
Yeah.
I like guys who draw the crowd that way. So you know,
Gotcha. So I can definitely imagine that's what like keeps you, like, especially when we see nowadays you're hanging more with guys like, especially let's bring him up here with J Train still with Unc Julius Smokes.
that's
Like
family.
that's
That's my
another one right there that he's eccentric in a way with his how
yeah.
he portrays out there, but it's still that classic style. Like even one of my brothers, Ben, he did a documentary about Unk, and like hearing how what he grew up on and seeing how it reflects in the ring, it's like you could see it even without him saying it. So I can imagine
Well,
that's what kept y'all together too.
he knows how to like tap into the old school elements and then
Yeah,
like mix them with what's going on right now, what people
yeah,
want to see now, what's kind of crazy now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He's smart. He's a smart dude, and then he knows his pro wrestling.
yeah.
He's the type of guy you won't see him train much, and then he'll have a match and he'll do his back drops and elbows all perfect and shit, and you wonder like, what the fuck? I gotta train to do this. So I got respect for that dude. That's
Yeah,
my bro for man long.
yeah. No, that's definitely true. Like, even just seeing him a few weeks ago when we were at Callus, and seeing him step in there with like Lou Bruno and stuff, and I'm like, Unc about to step in, and he's like just like a natural in there,
Yeah, I'll
like
be in his
nothing.
hood sometimes. I'll be seeing him in the hood.
No, but also
That's a good
another
picture
one.
too. That's a good picture too.
Yeah.
That, yeah, that's a
Oh,
good picture.
we
I
gonna
got
show
that.
this, aren't we?
That's a good picture too, right there. Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit because you do have some gold around you. That high impact championship. Again, like the return has been great. You're getting some success here. We got that
I've
to
I've been showing a lot of love.
yeah
Coming back mostly from Catalyst and NEW. Done a couple of little shows here and there. Done a couple of lucha libre shows. Um, yeah. So coming back, just doing my thing, and I tend to just draw that crowd, so they tend to put straps on me. So
yeah
that's what you want to do.
yeah. And again, like I said, like for me, and I can imagine there's a lot more of that generation that grew up on you guys. That again, the name Ghost Shadow is gonna bring people. Like when I put this out there, it's like people want to listen. People want to hear about. Oh, it's Ghost Shadow. There's importance there with that name. Like
That's
again, you might
cool.
have yeah
That's cool. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Even myself, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm a humble dude, and I
yeah
like this generation right here doing their thing. They're kind of hungry, and they all
yeah
just want to battle out there.
yeah
And I kind of love that. Um, they'll see that I'm just cool dude. I'm usually pretty open with the dudes and just talk to them, talk to the young cats, and see what's on their mind. You
yeah.
know, mess with them mentally a little bit, play with them. Spin them around. You know.
Hey, gotta keep them on their toes. That's always the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
And
definitely. Like I even had the other day, one of my brothers. He's definitely still hungry in this, being young in it. Smiley was talking about he wants to get in the ring with you.
Smiley's cool.
Yeah,
Got a lot of cute tricks.
yeah,
He reminds me of like us. I think he kind of comes from that camp too.
yeah,
If he comes from Hog, he's gonna come from that 2001 era of guys kind of just innovating.
yeah,
Um, I haven't done shit yet. I've wrestled, you know, to the middle. I haven't
yeah,
really been pushed yet, and I think a match with Smiley, I'll get to have fun. He
yeah,
seems to know what he's doing with a certain style. A lot of guys don't know what they're doing, and you could see a certain level of Ghost Shadow when that happens.
yeah.
You know,
No, that definitely would be a cool one. Like that I would be a fan to see. Just get to see you guys and see how he would be able to fight off your hybrid style because he's definitely a little bit of an unpredictable guy in there. But like
he,
I could see that mesh well.
he's the hybrid style. He's the same hybrid style in his own uh, like lane, right?
Yeah,
But that's what that is. When you mix all that stuff is the grappling, the lucha libre, the striking, the strong style,
yeah,
where you're just on point everywhere. You're in there to play.
yeah.
You know,
There you go. There you go. Another one I want to talk about here a little bit. See your relationship here is with this guy here. Another one, especially if you're in the tri-state area, you know the legacy here of that dirty rotten scoundrel right here. He's now he's no one ever loved him though, so we're gonna call him by that. I don't know if he still wants to be called Casey Blade or not. So we're
Yeah,
gonna call him.
he another loony. He I used to work those guys all the time back in the
Yeah,
days. Um, and now we just making moves together in Catalyst, and that's
yeah,
gonna be fun. You know,
mm,
another doghouse brother.
yep,
That doghouse pumped out a lot of guys that people
yep.
sleep on. Um, that doghouse was I say this all the time. It's like an orphanage. It's like just had so many motherfuckers there. So many. Any time of the day, there was just somebody from Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. Just
Yeah.
like crew of
No,
four, crew
definitely.
of six, crew of eight,
Yeah.
over here, over there. You know, it's like
Yeah, and no, you definitely see it. Like now, it's definitely like again, it's created this generation now. Like a lot of the guys, either they ended up watching or starting to train under a lot of these guys.
I'm
Like you
actually
see that.
just listen. Let me tell you something. I'm just learning this,
Yeah,
right? You know, because I was out of wrestling for a long time. So coming back to hear your perspective
yeah,
on the old doghouse, it's like that's cool as shit. I didn't see it that way,
yeah,
and now you know, you come to the realization like, oh shit, all right, these dudes were watching and they were checking it out, and we inspired a bunch of guys. You know, we just
no,
working hard, having fun.
yeah, no. It really did. Like especially again from my own perspective of it. Like I grew up watching a lot of that, which is funny because I didn't find out till years after. I was living so close to Arena, Puerto Rico, and all that I was like, this is crazy to hear.
That was a cool time because then there was like that tape culture.
Yeah,
Right? For those who are like sick wrestling fans, you had these tapes, and these tapes just circulating, tapes, and then you got more
yep,
tapes, a whole bunch of tapes, right?
yeah,
And you would just check out all these companies that you didn't see on TV and shit. So
yeah.
now you go online, that's cool.
Yeah,
But
now
back then it was just something
everything's out
special.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it,
back then it was just something special. I got this tape, you know, first Ring of Honor show. I got this CZW show. I got this Jersey All Pro shit. Yo, look who's on it, right?
yep. No, yeah, it really was like it's that transition of like it was the tape era to like oh if he found this it was like a gem like oh perfect now I can watch this see who's on like oh man I gotta see more that we turned
Everybody
into
studied
like
each other.
yeah
Well, at least that's what we were doing. The Doghouse, we would do a show, come back, everybody watch the tape. Everybody, like
yeah
20, 30 motherfuckers watching the tape. If there was a new company, we would all watch it and be like, I'll kill him. You know, I'll work this dude. I'll
no
body that dude. You know,
yeah
uh, fun shit. Tape
no
culture.
definitely that's what it became like after that seeing like how everything went to LimeWire like I was making the joke yet with Uncle Deshaun Pratt about like LimeWire was the next like evolution of that, but it killed so many computers when you wanted to watch like, oh, I gotta see what's happening right now in CZW. I gotta see this last JPW show. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
well,
it.
you know, as time moves on.
And now we're just like everything you can find right now is on YouTube. Like
Yeah,
that clip of the Mad Scientist bomb, I just found it like that, like 2 seconds before we started. I was
yeah.
like, let me start
I
downloading
still
stuff.
haven't seen like a shitload of my clips, but
Yeah,
some of the old ones are floating around on YouTube,
yeah.
which are pretty cool.
No, yeah, and even now, like I think on IWTV, most of those JPW shows are going up there now. So all
Yeah, I did
that
see
era is
that.
going up. Yeah,
I did see that. That's cool. A lot of old school shit.
yeah. Which again, for anyone that's watching, especially if you're trying to get into this, start studying that because that's what I did when I first thing I did when I started training. I was like, okay, I'm going back to what I used to watch, see that, and start learning again.
That's not the worst advice, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Yeah,
a veteran might be like, "Yo, you guys are crazy. You got to study the older stuff." Yeah, I would say you're right too. But the crowd is so like indie minded right now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's that style. This they don't even know about that shit. They'll look at that and go, "That ain't wrestling." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." But yeah, so that's not bad advice at all. You know, everybody got like this indie, kind of reckless kind of style. Got to
yeah.
be careful out there. It's a little reckless.
No, definitely. And
So
I feel like
that would be good
that's
stuff to watch.
that I feel like that works because it's like again, it was still there was some crazy stuff. Like I've seen like I heard the other day I was hearing a Maximo's interview, and they were talking about the crazy stuff they were doing, and I'm like, it was crazy, it was that, but it wasn't as like everyone trying to do a car crash match. It was still to a point that there was, it's still entertained, but it was like it was in the right way. Like
We
I feel
thought
like,
so. Old school dudes thought it was a car crash.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? We felt it was that.
yeah.
Old school dude, like, fucking car crash. Get the fuck out of here. Jabronis, you know?
See, so it's funny because to me again, I'm the young in here. I'm watching you guys, and I'm like, okay, I like this. What's it turning into? Is like, okay, it's a little too crazy. Like, like
Yeah.
it's gotten to that point that now it's like
It
again, everyone's
depends. I mean, it depends. It depends how you tell that story. If you guys
yeah,
brought it to that level where we're just gonna fucking go insane and throw our bodies around.
yeah,
Listen, if a lot of dudes don't really watch like the 80s lucha libre shit. That's some of that shit is the most fiery shit you're gonna watch.
yeah,
Those guys are different. They're throwing their bodies around and the crowd is a frenzy. It's almost like Puerto Rico with like,
yeah.
Puerto Rico don't know how to act. Like they'll throw wrenches and shit. Like they wild out on you. What the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing that for? They take it serious and it's real heated. And their
Yeah.
dialogues is real. You don't understand. The American wrestling fan doesn't understand what they're saying. Doesn't give a shit. But they don't understand that stuff is 10 times more fiery than anything they heard. Those
No,
guys are
definitely. Like
going at it.
that is, if you get heat over there, you're getting heat. Like especially if you can understand what they're saying, like it's not just no normal boo. They're sending you to
They
hell right over
they
there.
look at that. They don't look at it the same way as
Nope,
us.
not at
Those
all.
are their Aztecas, right? They don't have
Yeah.
to. That's their Aztecas. That's like their army.
That's still like, and that's what I love, like watching that kind of wrestling, even watching like still to this day, certain points of Noah and New Japan, they still treat it like a sport, especially the fans. Like they
I
treat
still
it
love
like a
that
sport,
stuff.
and
I still
they
love that stuff. I think
yeah,
Lucha Libre had lost its grace. I want to kill a lot of luchadors.
yeah.
Yeah, I said I want to kill a lot of luchadors because they lost the grace.
Ooh,
It's turning into a lot of crash and burn bullshit,
yeah,
right? Like, yo, you ain't even whipping me right. Like, I ain't moving to that. I ain't doing that. I'm not wrestling. I'm not gonna do that shit.
no.
No.
Anyone in mind particular right now? Like you could off the
Anybody who's
drop.
fucking hot, the same 5 guys that's always getting booked everywhere. You see what I'm
There you go.
saying? Yeah, I want them. Well, the same 5 guys getting booked everywhere. Everybody's, oh, these are the guys. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're cool.
Oh, there we
Yeah, they're
go.
cool. They're all right. You know, we got crowds that want to masturbate all the time now. I just want these guys. These are the guys that I want, and
Yeah,
I just want to watch them. And that's cool. If that's what you want. Just don't miss out on other people. Don't miss out on watching other talent. Burn out on this one guy. This guy's killing it,
no,
and then I see a lot of guys that I'm like, yeah, okay.
no, no. And I guess that definitely it shows. Like again, there's those that they have that respect for it, but then there's those that are just like, let me get the pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. A guy. Listen, yeah. Let me throw some shout outs because that's fun.
yeah.
A guy that I would like to work. That watch this. Nobody knows who this guy is. They don't really bring him out here much. A guy named Toxin. That
Okay.
guy's fun to me. I would like to work Toxin. Um, um, there's a handful of guys. Um, as far as the indie goes, I would like to wrestle a lot of my bros or a lot of the dudes that've been around in the Northeast that I haven't really touched like that. Guys like Smiley. I would like Danny Moff. I would love to work
Ooh.
Danny Moff.
Okay.
Um, guys like that. But as far as lucha, any luchador,
Yeah.
because they all lost their grace.
Yeah. There we go. There's some pairings right there. Again, if you're listening, especially those promoters out there, like start booking this. Again, it's gonna make you money. that's
you
that's
know,
it.
Snatch one of those guys real technically. That stuff is fun to watch.
Yeah.
You're not getting out.
It really is. It really is.
You're not
Like
getting out.
especially like that. Like again, like especially you're talking like guys you would want to work of that brotherhood right there. How about the new crop? Anyone young you're looking at that you're like,
I worked
I
a
want to
lot
get
of
into?
them. I mean, listen, I worked a handful of those guys. I worked
Yeah.
Oliver, Jordan Oliver,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Myron Reed. I worked Myron Reed. Got to work with Ophidian. He's a cool indie dude who's been around for a minute, who knows what he's doing. And we had a very fun looking match,
Yeah.
right? That kind of meant something. Um, yeah, been working a lot of these guys, and they're all good guys. Surprisingly smart guys, and surprisingly uh, guys of good prudence and behavior.
Yeah. No, definitely. Jordan definitely was that was a match I was looking forward to when I heard it was starting to like the seeds start planting there to have it happen. And I was like, okay, Jordan's another one that he's in that like my generation gap that's like he's watched what I was watching. Like he was training under Jimmy Rave, he was seeing the old CZW stuff. Like you could definitely see it was a good like parent for you two.
Yeah,
So that was
fun
great.
match.
Yeah.
Fun match. Go Shadow got the better of that one though.
No. Not again the you have those season tricks. That's why too. You got to keep him on his toes. But
Whatever it takes, right?
another match. This one again is coming out soon on YouTube and all of Callus platforms. And this is a good one. You and Matt Mikowski. I was like a
This,
great technical affair.
this is a good one. We're gonna
Yeah.
run this back.
Yeah. That one I feel like it was funny because to the point that I'm like I'm on my feet because I'm like you were hitting everything. You were trying to lock stuff in. I'm like I don't think Mikowski did all of his studying here.
Well,
Like
he should have. He came from that Shakira house, if
yeah,
I remember correctly. That guy has a great style, fun to watch.
yeah,
That's the kind of guy that I just want to go back and forth with all the time. That's the guy who brings realism um, back into pro wrestling.
yeah,
Look what he does. He's fun to watch. Smart,
yeah.
right? His psychology in the ring is smart, man. Fun stuff to watch. I don't care if if he's not doing cartwheels, coming out with pom poms,
Yeah,
cheerleading and shit. I don't care. I like that he's just like that,
yeah,
and I would pay to see him.
yeah. I was gonna say, so I can imagine that's like what a pet peeve there to see like it's more flash than actually like getting in there and doing it.
Yeah, but you listen. I like that shit too, right?
Okay.
That shit is dope for those
Yeah,
who know how to do it. When it gets redundant and everybody's just doing this cheap little, just to get over, and everybody's looking stupid. When it's stupid, it's stupid. Straight up.
yeah. No, I could see that. And again, like it gets to the point like when it's good, it's like the crowd loves it too. Like they start to see it. But when it's to the point that's like nothing else is happening, it's like okay, we just saw that like in 2 matches ago. Like
Some stuff is stupid. I don't want
yeah,
to watch that. You know what I mean? Listen, man, I grew up in the Lower East Side, in the
yeah,
early '90s. You know what I mean? I'm not. That stuff cannot entertain me. I don't
yeah,
get entertained with that shit. Wrestling, going at it. Let me get lost in my imagination with these two dudes. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
There you go. There you go. So got to promote a little bit here because even NEW told me this is gonna be a match they were looking forward to. And you're talking about those luchadors. Let's talk about you're going into it with Frightmare. It's coming March now. How you looking at that? Because he has that similar like unpredictable style with him. He's another one of the Chikara alumni. How are you looking at that coming in March?
Wrestles. I've seen him. I've seen a bunch of his matches. That's gonna be
Yeah.
fun. Looks like a Skyder guy.
No.
Tricks like Skyder. See, Skyder, for those who don't know, trained a shitload of motherfuckers, like half the planet. So you could tell immediately when guys been touched by him. For me anyway. I've been touched by Skyder. Got some training from Skyder. So that's gonna be fun. He's gonna know what to do in there, and we're gonna go hyper speed, and we'll see how much lucha he does know, and it'll be fun.
There you go. There you go, guys.
Ghost Shadow.
Yeah. That's a good one right there. And again, that's gonna be at the Elks Lodge. That right there. Again, it may not be the main Elks Lodge like back in the day, but it has that history right there. Queens Boulevard is still like
Time goes on,
yeah.
right? As time goes on, fuck it. You got to do it how you got to do it. NEW is a cool little company. Bunch of guys
Yeah.
in there working hard. Bunch of guys in there working hard. You know,
Definitely.
I'll destroy that whole roster, but a bunch of guys is there working hard.
They're gonna work hard till they get to you, and then it's like, okay, that's it,
Hmm.
out to pasture.
Uh, Wherever I go, I'm gatekeeper, baby.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Let's talk about another company again. We gotta talk a little bit more about Catalyst because again, we're showing off that medallion like crazy. Who on their roster, especially because they have a lot of the young, hungry guys there. Who are you looking at wrestling coming this 2022? Because we're still early. We're still in February now. Is there anyone that you got your eye on that you're like, I want to get in with him?
Everybody. I want to get in there with everybody with those guys. I want Braden Lee again. I want
Oh,
Oliver again. Um, because those are fun matches. Um, Gipkey again. Um,
if he
Darius
has some gold
Carter.
around him, so I can imagine you want
Yeah, why not then,
that
right?
title
Why
too, huh?
not? Yeah, Darius Carter. Let's get him. He's a
Oh,
technical guy. I want to see how technical he is.
yeah,
Um, who else? Catalyst is a fun place to be. Got a lot of talent there,
yeah.
right? So that's a fun place to be. Those guys will push you in there. Everybody in there is classy, not fucking around, and that's what I like.
No, no, it definitely is. And again, the amount of talent, like I said, I love and I was talking to Theo Mack about this. Like it's the perfect, like it's the crop of like that old school, new school, and everything in between right there.
Yeah, you got to be
Like,
good, or you're gonna look stupid.
no,
Everybody there is good. You go in there looking stupid. Uh-oh. You know, I
yeah,
hope you got your shit together going in
no,
that company. You got to have your shit together in that company.
no,
You know, and a bunch of cool dudes. Guys listen. Um, Always have ideas, and always excited to bring new ideas and see what works.
no, no. And I think that's always the biggest thing too, especially like I even said it after the last show. I felt so good that I was like, you talk to, especially as the younger ones, that we're talking to like you guys, and we're like, oh, let's see what he thinks about this, and it's like everyone's talking, and it feels right to be able to do that. It's not just like, oh, okay, hey, sorry to bother, like let's talk this out. Oh, sorry. I just walks away. Like it's more like it feels that like common ground there.
Well, it's new to us too, because
Yeah,
that kind of like loose casualness is like back in my days. It wasn't around like that.
yeah,
People tell you, "Yo, back up," right?
yeah,
New day and age.
yeah,
Why not stay open to the next generation? I believe in never losing the generation. Always staying in contact. You know, that comes from Boricua culture. You know, you can keep the generations old, new, all together. You don't lose
yeah,
them because then you don't know what the hell's going on with your people, right?
yeah.
So it's the same thing. So the youngins ask questions. It's fun to answer them. You know, it's fun to answer them.
No, definitely. Like even when that day, like I said it, like when I see you guys, like you, Theo Homicide, Theo Mac, I'm like, this is crazy to me still. Because I'll say it, like again, it's cool to be able to see you guys do what you do, get to talk to you a little bit at the shows, but to hear you guys be open enough that it's like again, I'll message like asking, hey, about this, and it's like a little bit
It's,
to respond.
it's cool to still see them doing their thing.
Yeah,
Smokes, J Train, Moth, Monster, to still see them doing their thing.
yeah,
It's cool. Homicide's a dude that I love Homicide. You know, we don't talk too much,
yeah,
but I'll give him a shout out, ask him a question, some shit. He always responds. Real, it's a real bro, right?
yeah. Yeah, and again, it's great because it definitely motivates like again that younger guys like especially my generation here. We're like, oh, this is awesome to get to learn from that and see more and be like, this is why we keep doing what we want to do. Like
This
it's
is why
awesome.
there's a cool brotherhood in wrestling. Older
Yeah,
dudes put on the new dudes, and my turn to put on the new dudes. You
yeah,
know, that's the beauty of that little brotherhood thing. You don't want to lose that.
yeah. No, definitely. And it's funny because every time I hear that and I hear like when we say, oh, it's great for us to be able to do that, I hear a lot of guys like they say they never got that, sadly. Like when you guys were doing it, there were no vets that were as willing to be open like that.
Well, can I say that? Can I say that? I can't say that.
Yeah,
I had I had guys like Homicide, um,
yeah,
Loki, whether he realizes it or not, always used to help me out, give me advice, and
yeah,
always had good things to say about me. That dude used to always make me feel good, because he could critique the shit out you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely. Like I've been lucky to even take seminars with Loki, and it's like he'll break it down to the point that you're like it's a science almost.
Yeah,
But
and they
he's
always give me
helping you
like
learn.
advice, so I
Yeah.
would have to say no. And he was around. He'd been around by
Yeah.
that point. Japan. He did the E by that point.
Yeah.
He was around. You know,
Yeah.
um, Homicide went back and forth to Japan. So they were around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got good advice from those guys, good guidance from those guys. Points.
Yeah.
They always saw me as like my own dude.
Yeah.
Jerry got his own thing. Shadow got his own thing going on. Let him. They always let me breathe,
Yeah.
but then give me that advice that they felt that I might need, something that they may have went through.
Gotcha. No, definitely. And it's it's crazy to me because when I talk about like that, I talk about guys like Side, I talk about guys like Loki, and I put again, you're gonna say you're humble, you're not gonna agree with me on this, but I put you on that category there out of respect because I've seen you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I'm there. That's why I'm doing my thing now.
Yeah.
I think I left a hard impression on those matches. That's what I think. I didn't do a
Okay.
lot, and people still talking about it. So then, yeah, let go Shadow Rock in these companies
Yeah.
because if those handful of matches left such a big impact, don't let me go to waste.
Yeah.
Use me. Let me destroy something.
Oh, there you go. Definitely. I feel like that's why, like, especially now, again, that indies are starting to bloom again. You're definitely going to see a lot more. And
Isn't
again,
it cool?
yeah,
It's cool, man. I love it. I love that it's like territories is back. You got like
yeah,
these little territories that make a good amount of money. I'm trying to get in there. All
yeah.
right. Trying to get in there.
No, definitely.
So
The tri-state's become its own territory now. Like now you see it's everywhere. It's promotions over here, it's promotions over there. It's like
that's
that's
good.
it.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's better for the guys. They can
yeah.
get experience, get paid, get experience, get paid. That's all it's about up in this motherfucker. Get experience and get paid.
Yeah.
You know, get over.
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth right there. That's what you want to get out of it. And okay, so I don't want to take too much more of your time because again, this was great. I have to ask, what's your end goal? Yeah, we're
That's
still
my what?
talking your end goal
My
with
end
all this.
goal.
Yeah,
I wanna I wanna have uh you know party rocking matches. I want to keep going and just rock this shit and just this culture of pro wrestling, especially this indie culture of pro wrestling. I love it. Um, yeah, it's a little backyard. So what? That's where it's at right now. You know what I'm saying? We're never gonna get that other wrestling back. This is where it's at right now,
yeah,
right? So I want to just be in there in the mix, party rock, and just rip shows, kill the show, work a bunch of guys, make some money, have some fun, go out afterwards.
yeah,
I ain't doing shit. Life is good. I ain't got nothing but time on my hands to destroy motherfuckers. That's what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? I just
yeah.
did legs earlier. I ain't playing. Um, yeah, having fun out here, man.
There you go. I gotta ask this because again, I can imagine there's a lot more that would love to know as well. Would you ever consider the school system, like teaching the new crop of talent?
Man, I secretly teach half these motherfuckers on the Northeast anyway. Who ain't trained with Gosha? I run up in schools. I'll run up in your school. Who? You? They do step out the ring, be all quiet. I'm not even that kind of dude. You know what I mean? They step out the ring, don't even want to get in the ring. Like, yo, it's your school. You should get in the ring.
There you
It's
go.
funny. Like, who the
It's
fuck
funny
am
because
I?
I've seen it. I've definitely
Like,
seen like especially some of my boys around. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go train with." I'm like, "Wait, Ghost is teaching?"
oh, I'm back.
Damn.
Listen, I'm
Yeah.
back to paying dues too. I'm starting from scratch too. Get
Yeah.
get out of here. I'm not even giving off that energy. They don't come in the ring. I ain't
Uh,
lying though. This shit is funny as hell. No, Northeast is cool. I usually take over. All right, when I go to a gym, I usually take the shit over because guys usually play around a little too much,
yeah.
and they ain't too much curriculum. And that was pretty much the same thing that was going on in the doghouse to a certain extent. But
Yeah.
there was classes, Homicide, Lathon, they had their guys, but there was too much scattering. And
Yeah,
Homicide was like, "Yo, take these dudes and do your lucha thing." So I was always that kind of guy that brought curriculum to a place.
got you. I'll definitely have to after all this hit you on the side like, hey, so where are you gonna be today?
Yeah,
Try
man.
to
Yo,
take
you can
one of
hit
those
me.
classes with you.
I'm easy, man. You can hit me whenever. If I don't get
Yeah,
to you soon, I will get to you. I
yeah,
do a lot of things. Ghost Shadows also teaching uh, language of the ancestors that we lost at one point in time. Columbus meets a group of natives that you never fucking hear about. Yeah, those are our ancestors. And I just kindly brought their language back, or at least one of the languages that they spoke back, so the world could hear it.
yeah,
So I'm always a little busy,
yeah,
training, wrestling, language, studying, love life.
yeah. Hey, that's the best thing. Again, I feel like if you're not busy, you're not living. That's always
Uh,
the best thing. So
Indeed.
there you go. But awesome. Again, guys, you're gonna want to go follow on because again, go over here on Instagram right here. Go Shadow 7000. Go to the Twitter. OG Go Shadow because you're not gonna want to miss where he's gonna be at. And especially just the gems he shares around there. Again, his clips. I'm definitely gonna make sure he gets a lot of his clips now. Because
Indeed.
you guys are gonna
Good
want to see
looking.
all this.
Good
No, I
looking. Well,
got
you
you. I
check them
got
out. You're going to see cool clips, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of creative stuff, a lot of innovative stuff. You're going to understand why Ghost Shadow's a little bored with folks. When you're innovative, other people seem a little dull. So
you.
I like to push guys. You see what I do, inspire you, go hard against Ghost Shadow. We have a good match.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you again, Ghost, for coming on. This was great. We had a little bit of those technical difficulties, but we got through it. We made it work. And again, guys, you got to hear an amazing time with Ghost Shadow. We're definitely, again, always sharing around stuff. So as always, guys, be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, and respect the craft. We'll be talking soon. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.
Peace, peace. Squad.